I was down, but now I'm up. Yeah, this all God, this ain't no love. Yeah, I used to be stuck in that mud. Yeah, I was down, but now.
Hi, I'm Dr. Charley Hames Jr. and welcome to another episode of the Leverage Factor podcast. Today, leverage meets artistry. I'm so grateful and thankful to have known the sister for, a long time. I've seen her in many facets and I've watched her bloom into this improvisational queen. She was the brand new artist 2023 Stellar Awards winner. I'm saying this young lady has sung with one of the greats, one of my late friends, Edwin Hawkins. I've seen her go across the country from not only main stage, but also main academy when it comes to artistry. She is a phenom in her own right, but I want to welcome to this Leverage Factor podcast, the incomparable Lena Byrd Miles.
Thank you, Dr. Bishop.
Yes, you are in the house.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. You are, it's like it felt like that. Now, we know the journey has been longer than that. We're going to talk about that a little bit. But it literally felt like, I remember seeing you rolling through Oakland one day. And then the next day, I'm like, who's that on my TV? That's Lena. Oh my God, right?
It really was.
And I didn't see you for a while because you was all over the world. And then it just, it just kept happening. And then you got signed with My Block with the Grammy Award winning Warren Campbell. Mm-hmm. So let's dive in.
Okay.
What has life been like for Lena these days?
As I told you earlier, a whole tornado of goodness, though.
Yeah.
Just with great things happening. First of all, thank you for having me on the podcast. It's an honor to be with you today. But yeah, as he stated, singing with my sisters, and then poof, I turned into this artist that I didn't even see coming. Well, Bishop also knows me as a hairstylist by trade, so I was content with my pressing comb. I thought that was my microphone, and shampoo and heads was my ministry, actually, if you will, talking to clients and all that. And then my journey started. I met the Campbells, I should say, when I posted a plate of food from Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
Wow.
Toby and I, my husband, we went to LA to be big kids. We don't have children, so we we gonna go to all the amusement parks. And when we arrived, just out of our habit, we eat at Roscoe's, right? Everybody does.
Yeah.
So I just posted a plate of food on vacation. Unbeknownst to me, Warren and Erica are scrolling through Instagram.
Yeah.
He sees it. He's like, Lena out here, I want to meet her.
Yeah.
And he said the fat man in him recognized the Chicken and Waffles without even me saying we were there.
Wow.
So this is like 8:30 something.
The chicken anointing.
Black folks and chicken.
Yeah.
But it's the Roscoe's Anaheim, and he thought we were at the one around the corner from him, which is the Pico one that's now closed down. So we scheduled a meeting for 2 days later. Of course, we're freaking out in Roscoe's as he's DMing me on Instagram. My husband and I are like checking, is this the real Warren?
Yeah.
And he says, I feel like you have what it takes to have a great career in gospel music, and then I would be honored to work with you and see where it goes. And here we are today. I'm a Stellar Award winner. I'm #1 Billboard. My song Walk on Water charted #1.
Yeah.
I've sung at Carnegie Hall, Kennedy Center. I have a collaboration with Killer Mike, Shed Tears. That's all kind of streams. And we just did another thing for a television show, which I forgot that I even sang, but I'm getting tagged on Instagram, so I don't even have all the details for that. But there's a show where the song called Smiling Faces is featured on. So, I mean, when I say it's really mind-blowing, I still be like, what?
Yeah.
Me? So but I'm just taking it all in.
Yeah, but you handle it with such grace. And and that's a gift.
If that's what you see, because the phone call was help me out.
Yeah.
I'm on my way. I'm late on that. I feel like this with all the chaos, but in a good way.
Yeah.
So I just feel like it's always a lot of things going on at once, and I have to be matrixing.
Yeah. I think that speaks to that kind of, we don't believe in the zodiacs, but it speaks to that Capricorn behavior.
I'll take that.
Where, you might be on the inside spinning around on three spinners, but the calm and cool comes through. And I've noticed that really with your artistry and your voice. I remember hearing you years ago, and I was like, oh my God. But I described one of your good friends back in the day, Joe Douglas. I said, Lena, this is what I see. This was years ago. I said, Lena's like this water hose. It's like if you don't hold her, it goes all over the place.
Okay.
But when you hold her in position, it's like taking a drink of water on a hot summer day.
Dope.
It soothes, it quenches, but yet it replenishes. That's what your voice does.
Thank you.
And so, but that's been shaped, I think, by life.
Yeah. That, of course, some more history. I've come from a granddaddy pastor, and with that comes working in the family church, which my granddaddy still is a pastor, and my mom is still the organist, minister of music, New Hope Church of God in Christ.
Right.
Shout out to them.
New Hope.
And my daddy was the bass player. My granddaddy played guitar. So we were always, I want to say, kind of shaped because out of force.
Yeah.
You better do it.
Yeah.
But you didn't know, or I should say, I didn't realize that all of those things were shaping me to be Lena the artist. I just was serving because I didn't have no choice.
Yeah.
You go from the microphone to slapping rice pilaf at the little repack.
Right.
Afterward, and putting the apron on, or sometimes you're helping collect Sunday school offerings. So you're learning how to be, I guess, a little bit more fluid in what could almost be something chaotic someone else wouldn't know how to handle, flowing with, changes in programs and all that type of thing, or just your nerves with public speaking. I had to say a speech on Easter at 6 years old.
Right.
A long soliloquy.
Yeah.
So you just move and adapt, and then you go back and see, wow, God was really connecting the dots all this time to make this person.
So it's like, I got so many questions, and I know we don't have enough time, but
I'll come back.
I'm gonna flow with you.
Okay.
It's like, these are things I just remember, like being a part of a small kind of family church. You do take on a lot more roles than a normal person would, and it teaches you kind of like the selflessness of service. But also, I remember as you have emerged as this artist, you have two sisters, right? And one always called shy and reserved, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then your other sister is kind of gregarious, but kind of a comedian on the sly. But I remember when they were younger and you all were singing, it was like you were the melody maker. Lauren was like, she like held bottom, it was crazy.
Yes.
I don't know how she figured that part out, right? And your sister kind of like was the glue.
Yeah.
How was it for you to say, I love my sisters, but this is my moment?
Very good question. I feel like it came easily because we were already doing things in our own right and fully supporting one another. And because I was actually singing Little Lena before they was born.
Right.
So it was kind of like things were established early on that I was this little singer by herself, yet I was still a component of the Byrd sisters too. So it never felt like I'm leaving something to do, because it's like that'll always be there, and this Lena will always be there as well. So, and then they too in turn started, doing their own things. My middle sister that you call the Blue, she got married and has her fashion thing, her fashion business, and now she's a mother of two, so she's busy with that. Lauren moved across the country and she got another degree or two. She might be working on a third one.
She's working on,
But I mean, just they started doing their own thing, so it didn't feel like I'm not taking you guys with me on the the journey. But we FaceTime, we definitely are on Instagram laughing at something every day. So it's like the only tough part is not seeing them every day like how. But we very much are a close knit sisterhood. And sharing each other's victories as well as trials. So I don't think I've ever had it feel weird because of how we just are. our thing is.
And that's kind of unique, because I know there was other kind of girl groups, if you will, growing up at the same time
Absolutely.
around. And not no slight to them, but they didn't make it per se, right? But you did. Do you feel a sense of grace or humility with that, or does it make you feel responsible to kind of carry, kind of like, because let's say it this way, you're now the new Oakland sound that we've been waiting for. Wow. Think about, we had decades of the Hawkins. Like, the whole world know the Bay Area for gospel sound for the Hawkins. Now that legacy has passed and we struggled to find identity, and we was talking and everybody tried it, but now it's you. Do you feel some kind of weight or responsibility? Just talk about that a little bit.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh no, you just made, a whole nother perspective that I haven't considered. Of course I hear that, but as far as carrying a whole city and area or region on my little 44-year-old shoulders, it's like, and just having, it's cool to get admiration and stuff from strangers, but from hearing people who have watched the journey, it does do something. Sorry, Mike. It does do something to your heart as far as how you feel and looking at things in hindsight. Like, I guess so. And even with what you said as far as it being Daryl Coley and connection to the Hawkins, I actually was blessed to sing with Edwin for almost 10 years up until he passed. Yeah. So even that has a lot of weight and sentimental value, if you will, and just being connected to Lynette and the ones that remain. Right. I'm just like, wow. Yeah. It definitely feels like pressure and big shoes to fill. Yeah. And I will just say, I'm thankful that I still have the grace to not try to be a next. I'm just going to be Lena as I walk through the doors. Because, people are quick to say, oh, she's the next so-and-so. You the next Shirley Caesar. You the next Tremaine. You the next. No, I'm just the next Lena. Yeah. And whatever that looks like, to me, I'm like thinking about my little 6-year-old niece coming behind. If she can see, oh, my auntie did that or whatever. Whoever that makes feel like, or just a little girl I don't even know, feel like I can accomplish this and come from, my city where it is how it is, and upbringing where we didn't have, it was 3 girls to 1 room. Yeah. My parents did the best they could and gave us a bomb childhood, I feel. But, we didn't have just all this silver spoon and shiny things like that, but it was rich in love, prayer, and faith. So if people feel like I'm the girl who can take the mantle, that's a huge deal to me.
I think the most critical thing for anyone that's blessed and walk in favor is to allow it to come to you. And I think very much this is a season where this has literally come to you. I don't think it was something that you was asking for. Every time, and I've talked to you on various occasions about, artistry and pastors and preachers, and you've given me nuggets you probably don't even remember that you have. But what is important to understand, that as it's come to you, continue in the grace that you're carrying it. And I will say, as a new sound, you are creating your own sound. Because again, the Hawkins sound is legendary, calculated, pioneering, all of the things that we are beneficiaries of today, they broke ground. And yet, in many respects, you're doing the same thing. Your ability to improvise and to take stuff that I'm listening, I don't even know how you, like, how did you do that? And it's like, when you're a great appreciator of music, and to kind of hear that level of musicality that's raw and unedited, and still bless people in different genres and different spaces, is a blessing. Next thing that I will say is that comes from struggle. So you got opportunity now, but let's talk about the times when looked like fortune was at your door and you turn around and it was misfortune.
Yeah.
So can you share some things that might be painful, but I think our pain, at least I've learned, our pain turns into purpose and it makes us who we are.
Absolutely. Of course, with anything you do as a creative or someone in the arts or in artistry, you're going to get your people that are, you come to my studio and record, and come, I want to sign you. And so even walking that journey, we had some promises with me and my sisters at first, and then that kind of didn't go how we had to discover. I remember this project was supposed to be in back in the day, they had, that's funny, I'm saying back in the day. Yeah. Yeah. You could go
2 weeks ago, everybody.
He giving me so, y'all don't see the wrinkles, but you used to could go into a Walmart and you would put headphones and you could listen to music and see what's coming out. There would be a CD. Y'all remember CDs? Yeah. But we were told that we would be on this particular project that we had sang for, and to go and not see our names on there. I remember the pain that I felt, like, what happened? Because there was nothing that no one told us until after we confronted, like, you guys told us we would be on this, and then so just the fact that I probably was more devastated than my two sisters. They've always been, even though I'm the oldest, they probably not as, they're not going to be as emotional as me. But I guess in being the oldest child, you do carry a lot. Now that I'm thinking about just even with empathy and stuff for my parents and wanting to be a blessing to them, I'm probably the one that'll be like, okay, I got 1,600. I'm gonna give my mom and daddy, 15 of it. Stuff like that, where, the other children might be like, I get him by.
Right.
But
exactly.
It's just a different level. So I had that type of a feeling, even with things not falling into place with my sisters, and feeling, I guess, the responsibility of when things go wrong. You feel like, did I do something? Just stuff like that. So that being a part of struggle, I feel like it does shape your sound, because you can convey that in the artistry, which is something we're all wanting to do. You want your delivery to be heartfelt. You want people to connect. You want songs to resonate. So how can you sing about certain things if you don't experience pain, if you don't experience loss and the disappointment and all of that? And I'm very expressive, even in just talking. I use my hands, I use my face for all the things. So God created me that way, I guess, to have it in my singing as well. Now that took time for even me to come out of my shell. As a little girl, I wasn't as expressive. I would be like, I'm happy in Jesus. Hard to tell singing it like that. Right. But right. Of course, life and its lessons and its journey make you appreciative, and you evolve constantly with delivery and how you translate each song that's done. Because sometimes, people will tell me, I can't say that, but a lot of people will say, you don't never sing the song the same way. I've heard you sing one particular song 6 times and you never deliver it the same way. And like, it could be meaning something different each time that I'm ministering it. So
that's what I want to talk about a little bit about. I want to stay in the pain area for a minute. Okay. Because I remember I was learning guitar, and I had one particular teacher, and he says, don't pick up your guitar if you're going through something, because that song and that piece will always be tied to your pain. So it paralyzed me, because some days I wanted to go to it, but I couldn't, because I had all of this, whether it was rage, anger, disappointment. So how does that, because again, I want to say your improvisational tone, you interpret a lot more than people realize. How do you interpret pain that way? What does it feel like? Do you feel vulnerable? Do you feel like expressive and now powerful, like you got a control of it? What's going through your mind when those moments happen?
That's a very good question. I feel like a lot of it, I'm placing myself where I was when certain things it could have been something as simple as a run, but I could have been in the car crying over some news that somebody passed away or whatever. So for lack of a better word, I don't want to say channeling, but you're in the place of, there's a lyric, I mean, a song I sang at a conference called "This Is My Exodus." It kind of went, one of my clips that I would say kind of went viral. I was singing in Texas, and of course, with me being the one who paints the picture, I was saying in the lyric, or the ad lib, I should say, I was saying those nights that those drives by myself full of tears. So it's like I'm placing everybody in my actual moment. That really happened, where I was crying in the car and like, what is finna happen with life? And people resonate. It was like the way the women started shooting up. Oh, y'all be crying in the car? You know?
Yeah, right. You too?
Yeah.
Right.
Just seeing that. So I really kind of just speak from this really happened. I can't give everybody else's, but that's the song say, you can't tell it like I can.
Yeah.
So it's coming out in delivery, and a lot of the time the ad libs be real life.
Yeah.
I feel like it's empowering when you're able to be vulnerable, because so many people won't tap into their emotional side of, out of fear of judgment, out of fear of somebody probably holding over their head. Remember when they went through that and they was only had noodles to eat or whatever? You feel like people will view you differently or whatever, but I feel like what you see is what you get on stage and off. I don't know how to say, oh, I'm gonna be Lena like this on stage. I don't know how to.
So let me shift that a little bit, right? Because two things that come up: one is self-care, and two, what I've seen with artists who are extraordinarily gifted, they have crashes. We've seen artists, we're not gonna name any names, but we've seen people who've medicated themselves through their lows, or those who, as a preacher, you get endorphins and you get a high from, how do you come off that high? Like for me, I go through a stupor for about a couple of hours and then I come back. Some others, again, do other things to try to pull themselves back to that moment or just cope with life. Because I've heard also sometimes especially when you're gifted like that, you go through a lot of depression. So if you're able to share, how do you handle after coming off of an Academy Awards show moment, and then you got to come back to your reality? How do you handle that?
I feel like God always has somebody, like a person who has history with me, whether it's my mom, a sibling, a cousin, somebody will call and we'll just talk through what just happened. And I feel like that is what's keeping me grounded, because of people saying, well, you should have the big head with the gift that you have and all the things that you do. But when you're talking through the things and then the failures along the way with the things, like, oh, I tripped in front of so-and-so. Denzel Washington was right there and I tripped and almost knocked all the I'm humorous, so I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah, no, it's good.
But that's one of the things. That's another thing. I'm gonna laugh and scroll through Instagram or YouTube and laugh at something. Or I'm gonna replay and watch the service and stuff that I know about me that I tripped, because one time my shoe came off at somebody's church. I replayed trying to see, like, can they tell that that's where that happened? It got caught in the groove. It's Lord. All kind of humbling things that happen. Say.
I have to admit, I can't watch your feed if I'm in a meeting, because I don't know what's gonna come out. What's Dre, who managed a bunch of artists? He put something up on the other day, and I was driving, and literally I went woo. And I text him. I said, "Hey man, don't do that no more, because you almost made me have an accident." And that's how your reels are all the time. I can't. Look, I'm telling y'all, if you follow Lena Byrd, watch it in the quietness of your space, cause
at your own risk.
At your own risk, because it's funny.
And I'm clean. I'll be having no cussing and nothing weird like that. Just so you know, the Saints can come to my page. I don't have nothing, but I'm gonna laugh. You might hear me hollering and watching stuff on TV. It's so random. It's like music, ministry, humor. I don't know, but that also leading to another point of my ministry. I had someone DM me how they or in the hospital. Because at first, when you're trying to figure out where you are going with things that you've been given talents and all that, just trying to pair and couple them all can sometimes be a little bit
daunting.
Yeah. So, to my point, I thought at one time I was like, I'm not gonna share funny stuff because it might cause the pastors not to book me, because you're used to pastors being, and I had a few pastors pull me to the side only to say, you keep being who you are, don't stop sharing. I was laughing at this at a long time in my life, but they were so, I thought they were going to tell me, don't be posting, you need to be more. So
there are some social media police out there. Since I've been in this role of bishop, I didn't think it existed that bad, but somebody called me up and said, hey, well, I know you were particular about your image. And I was like, well, I know you have people posted for you, but somebody saw you like something. I'm like, if you watching what I like, you ain't got a life, right? Go get one, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a thing. And then there are more people needing the medicine than we think.
Yes.
So it's like, don't stop, especially with what's going on in our world today.
Today, yes.
It's like, you better laugh, you better find humor, you better find, or you will lose your mind with the way we're just fed everything since we are on social media. Before we had all of that, it wasn't a reason to have how people are, fear mongering. It's the war, then it's this, and then you got the dancing AI babies and all this stuff. I mean, it's just all over the place. So it can drive somebody nuts. But one of the reasons that I was going to say I keep going with the humor, singing, and whatever is because a person told me that they were in the hospital awaiting news about their sister who was in a car crash. And he said, while we are waiting on the doctor to come, we're scrolling through your page. We're laughing at all your memes and all this. And when the doctor comes, he says, we did all we could do, but she passed away.
Wow.
And he said, then I said to my siblings that remain, oh, Lena sings too. They went to look through all my music videos.
Wow.
And he said, right there, we crying.
Wow.
You helped us in two different aspects, and you didn't even know that left me. So I just bawled. Of course, I read that bawling. But you feel like, and that was at a time, I don't know if I was even signed yet, had music out. I was just singing at churches and posting, because people don't realize the power of sharing, even if it's 2 likes. I'm like, you don't know who this will reach. I said all that to say, for those who are feeling, whatever, a weight of, oh, nobody's gonna watch this. You really don't know where it'll travel. And God has his reasons for you to do how you do, just the way you do it. I feel like we shouldn't try to, like you said, put a handle on how somebody's posting, whatever. So, and then after that, I started getting your people like your John Grays. And he was like, I had to one time get up out of the bed and go, because I was shaking the bed so hard from laughing. And my wife kept tossing like, what's going on? He said, I was like, I'm on Lena's page laughing. But he said I was in
I ain't gonna touch that. There's a lot of shaking.
All right.
All right. No pause intended. All right.
Sorry, John.
Sorry. We love you, man.
He would be like, no, but he's since become a friend and always encourager. And another one who's like, you're beyond just what I thought. For a while, I guess I thought I was just, I was content with being Lena from Oakland, singing here. I never saw the road leading me to Lena that's going on airplanes every week and singing in the East Coast and then Midwest. I didn't see that in the cars for me. So just really watching the Lord order my steps is amazing. Even with that part and the humor, all of it, the struggle, the pain, as you say, and all of that. I hope it continues to be displayed just through the music.
So what you got working on that's new that you can tell us about? Because I know if you're working with Warren, you're creating something new.
Now, pun intended, brand new live.
What?
The live recording of my album, which is titled Brand New.
Yeah.
We're releasing, or I should say recording, on April 18th at 7 p.m. Cali Worship.
All right.
My very first
So April 18th, if I'm in town,
First
I'm
live
there.
recording, LA.
Just tell them save me a seat.
Oh,
Yeah.
you got it. You already.
Yeah.
Tina have a list of the.
Yeah.
You probably be in the Bay Area section, although he's LA.
Yeah.
But no, we're that's the latest project along with just other. I'm like, I can't even remember all the other stuff we have working on, but he's definitely had me featured on the Kingdom Come series. Like I was on part of the scoring for that.
Wow.
And I was blessed to work with Stevie Wonder because of Warren.
Wow.
It's just been some amazing, that's just off the top of my head what I can list. But that's the main thing that we're doing. Yeah. My very first live recording. You see, I'm nervous and my eyes.
Yeah. So I was gonna get to. We're gonna get to some rapid questions that we want you to to answer in a few seconds.
Okay.
But that's another thing, because I've known you, so I observe you and know you. I haven't never seen you really get nervous until big moments.
Oh, okay.
Which is crazy, right? Because church, you just who you are.
But I still be nervous too.
It's just again the Capricorn thing don't come through. But I remember it was probably when you was at Carnegie Hall or somewhere recently. I saw a clip and I stopped to watch it because this is a big moment. And the first 15 seconds I was like, oh, she's nervous.
Yeah.
Like I ain't never seen that before, right? And then you like looked at the lady, you looked back, and you did a run, and then it was just like forget where I'm at, and you went for it. And I could see the people around just like vibing and like enjoying, and was like anticipation. So what do you do with all of that?
I really be up. You see, like if you like you said, he pays attention to body language and knowing me for so long.
Yeah.
You'll kind of notice my little quirks, like she's finding her way.
Yeah.
Which shout out to Damian Sneed, who's the reason that I was at Carnegie Hall.
Wow.
But he did tell me that day, I want you to come and just sing on the end of this song. So that was my like rehearsal / performance all happening in real time.
Real time. Oh, wow.
With all of us that came on stage. It was like we had done our initial songs he had asked us to do. And then, of course, they want you all to come together and do a song or just tag along. So they had all did their parts. And then the girl before me had just sang what I thought I was going to sing. So his song or his melody or lyric, I should say, was Amen, it is so, amen. So she said, let the church say amen, the Andre Crouch.
Right.
And I was like, that's what you just don't see that in the video. I had just got through saying that's what I was going to do. So everybody was kind of like giggling and all that. So now I got to think fast. Like, she took my little thing, so I thought, and that's
it did feel like that, but I wasn't sure because I didn't know what I was watching.
Yeah, because of how I chopped the reel with the time.
Yeah.
But when she actually did, it's just the way she led into it. My mind just was like, oh. But because everybody was, you know, it can get, I won't say that it was redundant, but when you have so many people doing
the same,
everyone's rarely going outside of the box with even wording, melodies, switching that up. So I just was like, I'm always going to try to go against the grain or do something different than everybody. That's just, I don't know why my brain is wired like that. I'll be like, okay, if everybody's been doing this, Lena just gonna go to the right. So that's when I just said, let the church say amen. And then they were like, oh, we like that, and joined. It was a real, what you saw was organic, authentic, all happening in real time. And then Damien just started making the band kind of chop it up with that. It was like, and that's, people keep like, I keep watching this, I keep coming to it. And I'm like, we're not even saying that much in the song.
Yeah, it's the moment though.
And what it makes you feel. And people connect with all of that, so.
That's dope. That's
wow,
really dope.
That's funny. You watched that and saw all of that.
Yeah, I just
like I know her. She want to run up, and that's a thing too. She want to run off stage.
So I was like, okay, she got it. Oh, okay, this is what we do.
So I take y'all on a journey. Y'all be like,
Yep. It's like it's stop, go, then we're flowing.
No, I appreciate that.
So Lena, before we close this out, this is what we're gonna do.
Okay.
We're going to have rapid fire questions. This is part of the Leverage Factor podcast.
Okay.
So however you answer, there's no wrong answers. It's just an open book test, all right?
Okay.
One word that describes your relationship with God. Go.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
Amazing. All right. I love it. Choir stand or concert stage, which feels more like home?
Choir stand.
All right. That's the church girl in you. Mm-hmm. What song ministers to you when you need strength?
Trusting God, Winans.
Yes.
Old school.
Old school. I see you here. First gospel artist who made you believe you could do this?
DeLeon.
Shut up. Really?
DeLeon is whose songs I used to sing as a little girl. So that's what started, if you will, the Bay Area.
Yeah.
My granddaddy will tell you if he was here.
Mm-hmm.
People would call me, can little Lena come sing? I'm a King's Kid. And that was her song. So
Yeah.
that was my solo that got me
Wow.
booked, if you will.
Yeah, yeah. That's
At 3,
crazy.
get my little $5 and
Yeah.
get my Happy Meal.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I got to give me another Happy Meal. Y'all got a service? That's crazy. I ain't heard that name in a minute.
Right.
Right. So when you sing, are you thinking as an artist or as a vessel?
The latter, a vessel.
Vessel, okay.
I mean, now I feel like more so both, if we will be honest, but more so because I'm still being shaped into artist.
Yeah. Well, you definitely got your 10,000 hours in.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But they still, you got your Erica and Warren still like, do this next time. Do that.
Yeah.
The artist in them. So
Yeah.
my coaches.
So what's the difference for you between performing and ministering?
Very good. Performing and ministering, I'm more so concerned about what the listener is receiving. I feel like performing, well, both can be connected, but ministering, I think you get a little bit more freedom to be a little bit expressive. In performances, sometimes whoever has hired you has you in the lane or in a box and wants you to stick to certain rules. With ministry, it's like, lead me, Lord, and you might go like a ping pong or like a pinball machine. You might be hitting certain areas and age groups and all of that, but a performance might be just geared towards children or older adults or, I want you to specifically sing to the first ladies. Yeah. It's just a little bit sometimes different with that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Here's a couple other quick questions.
Okay.
What's harder, the high notes or the quiet obedience behind the scenes?
High notes. the high notes.
The high notes, yeah. Yeah, because, I can see that.
Because you don't know if they going
Yeah. You don't know what's going to come.
Or if it's going to be a cleanup on aisle 5.
Yeah.
When they duke.
Yeah, that's why I drive more than I hoop.
Yeah.
Right, because I can trust that versus, if you go for
It'll
a small
play tricks on you.
and it ain't there, ooh, that's horrible.
The recovery, you got to be quick in your recovery.
Yeah, that's not of God, right? Right. So what a misconception people have about gospel artists?
I would say that we all are, I won't say we all, I would say that some don't really have a relationship with the Lord, that they do it for the things. But it is a thing where that's just one that I've heard. So I'll say that's probably the top one that I hear the most.
Yeah. And you if you be around, and especially as long as we've been around church, you see it, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, you see it. And authenticity always scream louder than, the fake, right?
Yeah.
What is it that you want to leave people with about Lena Byrd Miles?
Very good question. I hope they always feel better in any type of encounter with me than whatever they came and first encountered me. I hope I make them leave feeling better than what they came to me with, whether that's being a laugh, a joke I shared, just that you leave happier, that you leave empowered, enlightened, whatever I share. I guess almost like how, you say somebody feels like a warm hug or a breath of fresh air, which that's some of the things that I've seen in comments. And I don't want to let people down. When people say, you just what I thought you were from Instagram. Meeting you feels the same way. Like how I laugh with you on here, all of that. I want that to continue on. So that would be, but ultimately, Jesus shining through. Like, I got to reflect that. That's why I got my song.
Yeah.
People gon' people, but you can't let it change who you are. So hopefully y'all don't get jaded. And, you know, if I'm the girl you see smoking cigarettes on the side, you be like, who is that?
Right.
What you done been through now?
Right.
So, yeah, I want to remain consistent in being who God made me alone, you know, even with the punches and the tornadoes and all of the stormy weather. I still want to be her at the end of the day and make him happy with how I'm encountering people.
Well, I think you have experienced one of the highest compliments in the world, as when somebody tell you you're exactly how I thought you were, which is completely subjective. But for that to be consistent, that's a high compliment. So we commend you for your amazing journey. I just believe God the best for you.
Thank you.
I think this is just starting. So just buckle your seatbelt. I think it's going to get even better.
Okay.
You have the gift of longevity ahead of you. So just keep doing what you're doing. Stay the course. Let every bump become a blessing. And know that God is still on your side. So this has been an episode of the Leverage Factor podcast. We've heard leadership through artistry and through ministry with the incomparable Lena Byrd Miles. I encourage you to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. If you want to have quality information, come to the Leverage Factor, where we take a little and maximize the most. Peace.